Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today it's the 27th of March 2024. Usual quick request, if I can be so bold please, and that's if I can ask you to subscribe to the channel, because that'd be marvellous, big help, so please click the button if you would. Today it's Albion and their debut album Lakesongs of Elbid. Now, this came out just a few weeks ago. It's the debut album, and it's the band that is fronted by Joe Parrish James, who you may know was in recent years was guitarist for Jethro Tull, but he left Tull, I think, just a matter of a week or two ago to concentrate on Albion. Now, Albion, of course, is an ancient name for Great Britain, going back a couple of millennia or so. And that explains the name of the band and the music that fits in with that as well, because if I can lift a sentence from their BandCamp page bio, it says that this is the preservation and exposure of traditional folk music, but presented through the modern medium of metal and rock. And it certainly does. Oh yes. Because what we've got here is a gloriously bombastic and atmospheric 70 minutes of heavied up folk rock with the emphasis on the heavied up, yet the more traditional folksy bits fit in with it all so well. Also, it's tremendous, I think. And when I'm listening to it, it brings up images in my mind of sort of going back a couple of thousand years, that sweeping verdant ancient countryside and woodlands, mystical lakes covered in early morning mists and whatnot. And well, the cover does that, doesn't it? Just looking at it, you see, we've got swords coming out of lakes and all sorts. Maybe it's Excalibur. Anyway, what about the music? Well, the Lake of Innisfree is a nice, gentle, acoustic, traditional opener, and takes bits from the poem of the same name by William Butler Yeats, which was written, back in the 19th century, was it, I think? So that gives us a nice gentle feel, but don't get too swayed by that, because oh no, because what comes next is when the bombastic stuff starts. We got a huge instrumental in Arthurian Overture, and I said that this is where the heavy guns come out. It's a thrilling near 10 minutes of tremendous sweeping symphonic heaviness. Riffs are plenty, yet imaginatively mixes in some flute and some quieter passages to give it that ideal mixture between the bombastic heavy stuff and the traditional folk stuff as well. Pagan Spirit starts a little bit trippy, a little bit traditional folky and a bit trippy, but then it soon snaps out into another big one. It's so catchy too, folk metal indeed. Great stuff, so catchy. Joe's guitar chucks out the riffage throughout, finding Avalon as well, and in particular on, how do I pronounce this? Silver Plana Rock, and that one really does bring in one of the most powerful tracks on the album. It's heavy as you like, some monster riffage, and the guitar here reminded me somewhat of the great Martin Barre. And all the while, with the powerful stuff going on, we've got that traditional folksy stuff too. It's always there, making such a great mix and an irresistible listen, I think. And that ancient folksy stuff has its own place as a standalone, if you like, on some tracks as well. An example of that being Black Lake. Joe's got a really sensitive vocal over some gentle acoustic strumming, and it's quite compelling, before a big finish comes in when the rest of the band crash in. And the closing track, Camlan, is another brooding acoustic and track with a really emotional vocal and lyric, and some tasteful flute adding to it as well. It's a really sort of like mystical, atmospheric way to close out the album. And we even have, a few tracks earlier, we've got a rocked up sea shanty, Barrett's Privateers. Now, I like this one a lot. It's Albion's interpretation of a song by a late Canadian singer called Stan Rogers. and it's noted on the track listing as being a tribute to Stan, and it's a marvellous interpretation, I think. Anyway, overall, with Lakesongs of Elbid, I think Albion have got a really fine debut album, offering up something a little bit different with that mixture of old traditional folky stuff, bringing in the heavier, more modern stuff as well. And that sentence from the BandCamp page, where was it again? Preservation and exposure of traditional folk music, but presented through the modern medium of metal and rock. I think that's it. There's enough here to keep you happy, whether you like your old traditional folky stuff or you like your heavier, more up-to-date stuff as well. I think it's great. I got mine from their BandCamp page, which I will put a link to underneath, so you can go there and check it out, and various formats available. So do that if you think you'd like it. Please subscribe to the channel before you go, because that would be great. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.